Thanks for coming out. Just want to talk a little bit about Newton's laws of motion. That's what we'll be talking about today. Thanks for coming. Hey, Newton's first law, the law of inertia. It says that an object in motion will remain in motion, and an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an unbalanced outside force. Here we have a ball. This ball is not moving. It is at rest. It has no forces other than its forces that are currently balanced acting upon it, which is what holds it at rest. So Newton's first law of inertia says that this ball will remain at rest until an outside force acts upon it. Whew, still a little dizzy there. So that was the other part of the first law of Newton's motion with inertia, where an object will remain in motion until it is acted upon by an outside force. This ball was in motion, being stopped by the racket as we went around. So it wasn't falling, it was actually wanting to move out against the racket that held it there. So that is centripetal and centrifugal forces pushing in and against it, while the ball wanted to continue, like you saw, once it left the racket in a direct line. Newton's second law, force. Force equals mass times acceleration. F equals m times a. Remember that one. This is where we talk about the object being affected by two things: the object's mass and the amount of force applied to that object.
Goal!
Newton's second law, force is equal to mass times acceleration. This means that force is affected by more mass, more force, more acceleration, more force. So if we have the same amount of acceleration on an object, its mass will basically be able to decide the amount of force that's applied there. So more mass, less mass, same acceleration, more force, less force. Let's see how that works. More mass, same amount of acceleration. Let's see what kind of force is produced.
Oh, that was a lot of force, man. My turn now.
Newton's third law, action and reaction, says that when an object exerts a force on a second object, that second object is going to exert an equal and opposite force on the first object. Action and reaction. Again, when one object puts a force on another object, the second object puts the same but opposite force on the first object. That's why this ball bounces. The force of the ball hits the ground, and the ground puts the same amount of force but opposite on the ball. So again, let's summarize Newton's three laws, which were developed over 350 years ago. Sir Isaac Newton came up with these three laws of motion. First law, the law of inertia, again states that an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force, or an object at rest remains at rest. Second law states this is the law of force, where force is equal to mass times acceleration. Again, the object's mass and acceleration will determine its amount of force. And then Newton's third law, which is the action and reaction law, where an object that exerts a force on a second object, that second object will exert the same amount of force in the opposite direction on the first object. Game on.